the next presentation will be done by Sergio Nunez. Sergio Nunez, he's from University in Lima. He's REPU Physics, and he did his REPU internship at Yale University. So today, Sergio Nunez is going to talk us about estimation of the projected sensitivity of a future prospect light detector. So it's in the physics field, and we are very waiting for this talk. So Sergio, whenever you're ready, you can.
Okay, can you hear me? Sorry?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, excellent. So I will hear some changes. Yeah, okay. Thank you to everybody. Now, my name is Sergio Núñez, who the presentation said. And I study physics in the Universidad Nacional de Ingeniería, and this year I did my internship in the Bright Lab at Yale University. The name of my project is Estimation of the Projected Sensitivity of a Future Prospect Light Detector. So this is focusing neutrinos, so I will give you a short introduction about neutrinos. The neutrino is an elementary particle, and it's probably the most known particle nowadays, but at the same time is the less understood. There are three types of neutrinos or flavors, and they were proposed in 1930 by Pauli, and then observed in 1956 by Reines and Cowan. In the 90s, a very peculiar behavior, the neutrino oscillation, were observed by Kajita and McDonald. And neutrino oscillation means basically that one flavor of neutrino can be produced, but then detected as another flavor. And these further experiments show that this happens at distances greater than 1 kilometer. However, several experiments show that at distances less than 1 kilometer, there is a deficit in the flux of neutrinos that are produced from reactors. If our data and our prediction were the same, it will give us 1 and is represented by this line. But the truth is this blue line that showed around 6% of deficits. So the results of several experiments are very close to this blue line. And even the Dajabate result, that is the most precise result that we have until now at these distances, are very close to this blue line, even with its error bars. So this problem is called the reactor antineutrino anomaly. And one possible solution is that this neutrino responsible of this deficit could be changing in a new flavor that we can detect. So a new type of neutrino can explain the flux deficit. This is the sterile neutrino, and sterile means that it doesn't interact with matter. It manifests at distances less than 1 kilometer, and this is the equation that governs its behavior, where theta is the mixing angle, delta m squared is the square difference of neutrino masses or oscillation frequency, L is the distance from the reactor, and E is the energy of the neutrino. It's important to notice that L and E is known by the experiments, but theta and delta m squared not. So theta and delta m squared defines the neutrino's behavior, and this is very important because basically all the experiment turns around these two parameters. So in order to study this anomaly, a group of many institutions joined in experiment named PROSPECTS, the Precision Reactor Oscillation and Spectrum Experiment. The source of neutrino is a highly enriched uranium research reactor located in the Oak Ridge National Laboratory in Tennessee. The detector is a small cube divided in 154 segments. It is at a distance of 7 to 9 meters from the reactor. And to detect the neutrinos, it used the inverse beta decay process in a liquid scintillator. So, okay, but my work started with a publication of other experiment, a Russian experiment very similar to PROSPECT. A Russian experiment suggests the existence of a sterile neutrino with high confidence. So you can see here that in 2019, they published a confidence of 2.8 sigma, and in March 2020, when I was in my internship, a confidence on 4.6 sigma. In this table, you can see the confidence. So 4.6 is very, very high. So this is the plot that they showed. This is the parameters that I talked before. And basically, they explored all these regions. And if we do a zoom here, we will find these regions with different confidence. And basically, my work was to find the regions of neutrino 4 experiments. I'm talking about these regions that a future prospect light detector will be able to exclude working for 3 years. Exclude means that we'll able to study these regions and test these results of this experiment. So for this, I had to build a sensitivity curve. But first of this, I must to understand what is a toy. A toy is a predicted spectrum which takes into account the statistical and systematic fluctuations of the experiment. So here I have the space of parameters, and we assumed that at this point, the external neutrino could manifest. So I did the simulation where the stars are the toy and the spectrum is a best fit spectrum. So this type of spectrum is what we will find in the real experiment. So if, for example, we suppose that these were our real data, we will do the inverse process in order to find what parameters generate this spectrum. So I simulate this inverse process, I find this best fit parameter. So doing again the process, I will find another toy, another best fit, and another best fit parameter. That's not necessarily the same because this is including the systematic statistical fluctuations. So then I did this 1,000 times, and I found 1,000 best fit parameters. So now, not all the parameters are used for the experiment. So what are used? So for this, I use other tool that is the delta chi-square. The delta chi-square tells us how near we are of our prediction. So here I am doing an exaggeration of one of the toys where the red line is the true spectrum that it's not considering these fluctuations. This is the toy, and the blue line is the best fit spectrum, including these fluctuations. So the area between this red line and the toy, it's related with a true chi-square. And the area between the blue line and the toy is related with a best fit chi-square. So the difference of this will give us how near we are of our prediction. If this value is less than 5.99, this best fit will have a 95% confidence level. So in summary, we assumed a true parameter where the external neutrino could manifest. Then we simulate and we generated all these best fits, and then using the chi-square, we can make an exclusion curve where all the values in the right part have a 95% confidence. And well, we are only using one possible. So if we assume another possible true parameter, we will find another exclusion curve, and then with another exclusion curve. So basically, we explore all this space of parameters, and we will have a lot of exclusion curves. So the median of these exclusion curves is the sensitivity curve. Basically, this is why I did in the internship understand this, simulate this, and then I find these plots that are the results where the black line is the sensitivity curve, and these regions are the regions of the neutrino 4 experiment. Doing a zoom, here you can see that in the right part of the plot, we are only exploring the 1 sigma region. And so simulations show that a future prospect light detector will be able to exclude the neutrino for 1 sigma region with 95 confidence level, working for 3 years. So this is my conclusion, basically, and why this is important. This is important for the new projections of the prospect experiment, because improving sensitivity will have better design for future detectors, this is also important because this, when we have more sensitivity, we'll have better nuclear controls, because the neutrino, this is working in nuclear reactor. So this is very important. And how you can see the results of the neutrino 4 experiments are were very striking. So basically, I only did a small simulation, but now there is more detailed analysis in this archive that is from the prospect collaboration. And if you want more details, you can see in that reference. So this is my acknowledgements to my PI, Karsten Heger, and also to Pranava, who was my postdoc advisor, and he helped me a lot in everything. I learned a lot. Also to Andres and Victor, who helped me in my REPU presentation and also in my time in New Haven. And finally, to my life friends, that this is a picture that I take when I invite them a pisco. You can see here the pisco. Well, it was in a happy hour, was really cool. So basically, thank you to everybody.
Thank you very much, Sergio. That was a great presentation. So we have here a question from Kevin Villegas. He says, "Hi, Sergio. Thank you for the talk. How much memory does a 3-year experiment occupies? Did you use any supercomputer for dealing with the data?"
I sincerely, I don't know how space we need for this type of experiments, but what I know is that a part of this simulation, there are simulations taking into account the time of working also. So I think that it is related with basically with how able we are to almost stores the data. I did some simulation about this also, about different times and how will the sensitivity will work, but I can't present because it's part of the collaboration. So, but yeah, exactly, I don't know. But thank you for the question.
Okay, Sergio, I have also a question. So how do you see the study of neutrinos in our country, in Peru? How important do you think is that more people are involved in this topic?
I'm sorry, can you repeat? Sorry, I distracted.
Yeah, my question is like, how important do you think is to people to be involved in this topic, to know about neutrinos? And
Okay.
how do you think this topic is being taken in our country?
Okay. In Peru, there are some people that are working in neutrinos. This is important because first, neutrinos are a very how can I say it? It's a field in the frontier of our knowledge. So for this, we will need to develop new technologies that now they're not exist. So this develop in the universities and the students, and basically these new develops translate in patents. I don't know if English is patents, patentes in Spanish. So this is very important for the develop of the university, of the develop of the country, the develop in general, like the economy and science. And in addition, neutrino have very interesting possible applications. For example, in the nuclear control of the reactors, because in the reactors, the production of this, for example, plutonium or uranium, it will be a lot of we need to have a lot of take care with this manipulation. So the neutrino is a very efficient way to control this. Even now, there are efforts to try to then neutrinos detectors works in the disarmament of nuclear weapons. It is very important. That's why there are phrases such as neutrinos for peace, because the neutrino is a good detector of what are happening in a nuclear reactor. It is very important. And in Peru, there are reactors. In Daipeng, there is a reactor. I don't know if there is other, but that's why. basically, that's my answer. Thank you.
Okay, and finally, Brenda Acuña says, excellent, Sergio. Excellent, Sergio. Did you already know about neutrinos before this internship? And what was the most interesting thing you learned?
I knew well, the general concepts about neutrinos, because in my university was a journal club about neutrino, teaching by Victor, who is also REPU. And yeah, I know some basic knowledge, but when I arrived to Yale, I realized that it's not only the knowledge, the basic knowledge about elementary particles, something like that. We need to know a lot of statistics. So you could see here in this presentation statistics, some parameters. So yeah, and what is the most important that I learned? Sincerely, I learned a lot, but the first thing I learned how the how a real a project works in basically in how can I say how is a research project basically, because this type of projects in Peru is still growing. So it was a really important contact for me to know. That's the most important thing that I learned, how a research project in neutrino works, how is a routine of a researcher, and basically that.
Okay, Sergio. Thank you very much. That was an excellent presentation.
Okay, thank you.
So with Sergio, we finished the first part of our REPU seminar.